spaces of advocacy. And spaces of advocacy in Kenya can only be efficient if you lead civil societies as women, lead parastatals as women, lead government as women. And that is why some of us are fighting the way we are fighting politically, so that we can create for you a space. Do you want the space? Yes. Ninataka kuwaona nyinyi wote bunge la taifa 2027. Yes. Hello? Yes. Nataka kuona Gen Z, wa mama millennials, wa mama wale wako miaka yangu, wale wamenipita miaka yangu, wale wa menopause, wote. Tupatane bunge, wa mama hai. Wa mama hai. Tutakuwa na combination ya wamama wote. Wale wananyonyesha, wale wamebeba, wale wamebebeshwa, wale wanyanyesha, wote si ni wetu. When I speak about women and health, matters health, I think women are the victim of any ill health policy in Kenya. We are the victims because mzee akiwa mgonjwa ni mzigo wa mama. Mtoto akiwa mgonjwa na youth wakiwa wagonjwa, na wakongwe wakiwa wagonjwa, na mhubiri akiwa mgonjwa, na mama mwenyewe akiwa mgonjwa, wa mama mutabeba mzigo tena. No, that is why we are here, because we want to say sisi ndio tunabeba mzigo. Puda imefanya nini? Munataka nini? Munataka kupumzika, sio? Very well. Amongst the people that are here, we have one honorable lady who came to parliament through nomination as a senator. And we have seen her in the corridors of justice trying to fight for her rights. And that lady is actually taking the footstep of this giant, yours truly, Mama Makelele Gathoni Wamuchomba. Unajua, in Kenya, if you speak sense and you're audible, they call you Mama Makelele. If you walk strongly and boldly, they call you Mama Maringo. If you're bright and intelligent na unasoma, wanakuita Mama Chopi. Alafu ukikataa kuwekwa kwa box na kupangwa na wanaume katika political space, wanasema wewe ni bad girl. Sasa munataka niendelee ama niguagoe? Niendelee. Tuendelee. Bwana sisi tuendelee. Sasa hiyo maneno yote mnataka kuniita, hiyo yote muniite yote, lakini haki ya wamama lazima itetewe na itendeke. Hebu kwanza nisikie kutoka kwa huyu mama. Huyu mama ni rafiki yangu sana na napenda vile anaongeanga maneno ya wamama. Hebu tuambie majina na utuambie kwa nini mimi nilikujua.
Habari zenu? Kwa majina naitwa Victoria Atieno, natoka kwa Islam, niko hapa chini informal settlement ya Mathare, na nimefurahi sana kwa sababu sisi wote tuko hapa. I am here to stamp with authority ya kwamba sisi kama wamama tuko tayari kupigana kwa njia yoyote kwa kila kitu yenye tuko nayo. Wamama hatutanyanyaswa tena, hatutadhulumiwa, hatutakuwa stigmatized kwa sababu mnatupatia mimba, tukitoa hizi mimba mnatustigmatize kwa community. Mnatupatia mimba, mnaturuka, tukiongelelea nyinyi ndio mnakuwa frontline kutustigmatize. Nimewaambia tuko hapa tayari na tuko tayari kupambana na wale wote ambao wako kinyume na sheria yetu, si ndio? Tuko hapa kupambana na nyinyi, hatutacheka na nyinyi. Asanteni.
I have just decided we gonna take it. We are filling the gap. Mama hai. Si tuende kule kwa wamama ambao wanapigania wale wamama wanateswa wakipata watoto. Mimi nimekuwa kwa mstari wa mbele kupigania wamama ambao wakipata watoto katika maternity care wanafungiwa kwa mahospitali kwa sababu hawajalipiwa bill zao za hospitali. Hiyo inaitwa obstetrical violence. Wamama wanafungiwa kwa mahospitali na watoto wao wanalelea kwa wards. Hapa KU hospital last year nilitoa wamama 6 ambao mmoja wao alikuwa amekaa kwa hospitali for 6 months. Akalea mtoto mpaka mtoto ameanza kukrow kwa hospitali kwa sababu hajalipiwa bills. Wamama hai, niendelee nisiendelee? Nifukuzwe nisifukuzwe? Nikifukuzwa mtanichukua? Niendelee kuteta? Nilete fujo katika bunge? Tuwapatie ruhusa? Yeah, you are the people who are feeling. By the way, mimi nimeshamaliza kuzaa. Mimi nimemaliza kuzaa. Nyinyi ndio mnazaa. Si ndio? Kwa hivyo nisipowatetea maneno itaharibika. Kwa hivyo nataka mama mmoja ambaye amekuwa mstari wa mbele kutetea wamama, ambaye amekuwa akisema wamama wa Kenya wasifungiwe kwa mahospitali, wakizaa waruhusiwe waende wakanyonyeshe nyumbani, waende wakaponee nyumbani. Mimi nataka huyo mama akuja hapa. Nataka tutaanza na Mumbi kwa sababu yeye ndio ako na obstacle, alafu utakuja baadaye. Kwa hivyo Mumbi kuja hapa, tupigie Mumbi makofi. Organize, educate, liberate, celebrate. African women on the front line. Educate, liberate, celebrate. Viva women, viva. Viva. Forward with women organizing, forward. Kwa majina mimi naitwa Ruth Mumbi. Mimi ni mwanaharakati, mtetezi wa haki za kibinadamu na hasa za kina mama. Niko very intentional na zile rights na deal nazo ni za kizazi za kina mama, sexual and reproductive health and rights. Na katika kazi yangu ya kutetea haki za kina mama za kiafya na reproductive health rights, tumekuwa tukifanya documentation. Tumedanganya ya kwamba SHA inafanya kazi na SHA haifanyi. Na SHA ile kitu imefanya imeleta a lot of inequalities in this country. I come from lower Madare, hapa tu, lower Modaiga, hapa chini. And what we have seen, tulikuwa tumemaliza like 10 years ago when mothers were being detained in Pumwani Hospital. We are still, it has come back again. We have been seeing adolescents, young mothers and teenage mothers being detained in hospitals because they cannot afford maternity fee, because SHA is not working. Our healthcare system, our public healthcare system has fallen. It's not working for the poor and working class women. To an extent, even in the pastoralist communities, they are even being forced to render title deeds as a surety so that they can have access to maternal rights. It's a shame. In a country where we are celebrating 15 years of our new constitution, in fact it's not even new, 15 years of our constitution that is very intentional on the rights that, on our rights, especially Article 43. And instead of us as women celebrating motherhood, this current system, this current government has criminalized motherhood. And we are here to say that motherhood should and must not be criminalized in this country. Yes. It's our right as Kenyan women to access the highest standard of healthcare as Article 43 of the Constitution says. And talking about femicide, last year, and I'm glad that my younger sister has spoken about it, what we also saw, it's weaponization of femicide. The government deliberately is using femicide as a tool to silence young women in this country. Because what we saw in Mukuru were bodies of young women who were on the front line in last year's protest. And we are here to remind them that we as women, we are not going to take it easy as you continue to kill our daughters and as you continue to kill our sons because of standing for their rights and because of being vocal and because they have refused to be cowed down, but they have intentionally decided that they are going to use their voice to demand what is right. So I'm here today to remind the government this year, the 15th anniversary of our constitution, we are going to defend our constitution to the tooth and nail. Asanteni sana. I have just decided we gonna take it. We are filling the gap. Wamama hai. Si tuende kule kwa wamama ambao wanapigania wale wamama wanateswa wakipata watoto. Mimi nimekuwa kwa mstari wa mbele kupigania wamama ambao wakipata watoto katika maternity care wanafungiwa kwa mahospitali kwa sababu hawajalipiwa bill zao za hospitali. Hiyo inaitwa obstetrical violence. Wamama wanafungiwa kwa mahospitali na watoto wao wanalelea kwa wards. hapa KU hospital last year nilitoa wamama 6 ambao mmoja wao alikuwa amekaa kwa hospitali for 6 months. Akalea mtoto mpaka mtoto ameanza kugrow kwa hospitali kwa sababu hajalipiwa bills. Wamama hai, niendelee nisiendelee? Nifukuzwe nisifukuzwe? Nikifukuzwa mtanichukua? Niendelee kuteta? Nilete fujo katika bunge? Mnipatie ruhusa? Yeah, you are the people who are feeling. By the way, mimi nimeshamaliza kuzaa. Mimi nimemaliza kuzaa. Nyinyi ndio mnazaa. Si ndio? Kwa hivyo nisipowatetea maneno itaharibika.
Out of parliament for not accepting a flimsy answer from the cabinet secretary in charge of interior, Murkomen. I was at my lowest as I walked out of parliament when other women in the same house were jeering at me. When they looked at me, even there is one woman leader, a woman representative. If you listen to that clip, there is one woman in that clip who said, "Tutakupiga vita." Shame. If you listen to that clip, there is one woman who said, "Tutakupiga vita." Shame. That was my lowest. My lowest because I have been in the women movement in this country since I was 19 years old. I have been participating in the arena of trying to make sure that women politicians get political space for them to make critical decisions like the one I'm trying to make. It defeated me to see women representatives and women MPs watch me as I was getting patronized by men, including the speaker himself, and they never defended me for standing for the rights of the women of Kenya. That is the lowest Kenya has gone on matters of women's rights. So on Wednesday, 13th August 2025, I staged a protest in the National Assembly against the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Assembly Administration, Honorable Murkomen, for failing to effectively oversee the arrest of the prime suspect in the femicide of 42 women whose bodies were discovered at Kware dam site in July of 2024. In response, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Wetangula, issued a 20-day suspension against myself, barring me from using my office and from appearing in Parliament to represent my constituents, some of whom are here with me today. This is punitive action, and it is viewed as an attempt to silence both myself and the broader anti-femicide movement of Kenya, which continues to demand accountability from security agencies for failing to protect Kenyan women and girls from gender-based killings. In his response to my question in Parliament on the Kware dam site murders, the CS Murkomen confirmed that after 13 months, the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, that is the DCI, has only positively identified 5 out of 42 bodies. Please note, after 13 months, that is 1 year and 1 month, they have only been able to identify only 5 out of 42 bodies. He further admitted that since 20th August 2024, the prime suspect Collins Jumies escaped from police custody. The DCI has made no meaningful progress in locating him or identifying other suspects. Since 2016, over 930 women have been murdered in Kenya. I want to repeat, since 2016, over 930 women have been murdered in Kenya, yet only 216 perpetrators have been prosecuted. CS Murkomen's failure to aggressively pursue the perpetrators of the Kware femicide cases not only demonstrates contempt of the victims, but also reinforces the pattern that, under the current government watch, perpetrators of femicide can kill women and traumatize families with impunity. Speaker Wetangula's decision to act against myself rather than holding CS Murkomen accountable for failing to fulfill his constitutional duty to safeguard internal security, further perpetuates this pattern of contempt against women's rights. It is particularly alarming that following his flippant treatment to myself and other leaders like Senator Gloria, who has gone through the same, Murkomen went on to dismiss the BBC Africa Eye documentary, Madams, exposing Kenya's child sex trade in Maimahio in Girigiri, describing it as an attack on Kenya's image. This reflects a consistent unwillingness to address urgent and systematic threats to women and girls of Kenya. My suspension is a call to action to all Kenyans to stand in solidarity with the femicide victims and to demand accountability from state institutions going forward. Wamama Viva! Viva! I commit as a member of parliament elected by the power of the vote, enshrined by the Kenyan Constitution, as a woman leader of this country, as a mother of girls and boys, I will continue to play my critical and active role in defending the rights of women, mothers, girls, and children of Kenya. I will not be cowed by such activities and actions as seen or witnessed in last parliament activity patronized by Speaker Moses Wetangula. What a shame. I want to remind Speaker Moses Wetangula that any woman elected in the National Assembly is not a mama. Any woman elected in the National Assembly is referred to as honorable member. Mamas are languages that are used to bring down the women's status in the society. Mamas are called to us whenever we are in our homes. But when we are in parliament, we are honorable members of parliament. Wamama Viva! Viva! As a woman leader in this country, I want to register my disappointment with the government of the day. President William Ruto, the patron of my party that has sponsored me in the National Assembly, committed to a national women charter and promised to deliver sanitary towel to every deserving girl of this country. 2.5 years are gone. That has not been done. President William Ruto, you have failed the girls of Kenya. President William Ruto committed through a national charter, which he committed through the commitment of a personal signature, to provide diapers to lactating mothers of Kenya. It is now 2.5 years and those diapers to lactating mothers have not been delivered. President William Samoei Ruto, you not only failed to deliver diapers, you have refused to protect the dignity of mothers during delivery by providing a cover called Leader Mama. You have failed the women of Kenya. As I complete my press statement today, I want to reassure the women of Kenya, those that are aspiring to become MCAs, those that are aspiring to become members of parliament, governors and senators, do not back down. Continue pressing on. Some of us are suffering so that tomorrow we can occupy our spaces. Prepare to occupy parliament through parliamentary votes. Prepare to come and sit on the seats that Wamuchomba sits in parliament. Prepare to be governors, prepare to be senators, so that our voice can be amplified as the women of Kenya. Viva Wamama Viva! Viva! Viva Wamama Viva! Viva! From today, we are continuing to rally the call to action to protect the women of Kenya from harassment from the police, harassment from patriarchal system of political parties, and harassment from their workplaces. Senator Orwaba said something that I think Kenya has not heard. Her problems and wars started when she talked about sexuality, sexual harassment in the corridors of offices of government. Senator is speaking on behalf of so many women who are quiet. There are so many women who are intimidated in their job workplaces, women intimidated in political parties, women intimidated in colleges and universities, and Senator is speaking for so many women. continue praying for us, continue standing with us, and thank you very much for coming to stand with me as I give my press up today. Asanteni sana.
Swali moja tu wawili. Mweshi, kuna maswali msiende, wangetulia kwanza tuulize maswali mawili.
Yeah. Okay, ladies,
watulie tu.
Mnaomba mtulie, tuna maswali wanafaa ulize. Can we have questions, maybe 2 or 3?
Yes. So tutakuwa na nitaanza alafu wenzangu watafuata. Jina langu ni Ronald Rigoni Mweshi kutoka idhaa ya Mo Radio. Na Waziri wa usalama wa ndani Kipchumba Murkomen baada ya yeye taarifa ya BBC alisema kwamba wanaenda kuchunguza. Chini ya saa 24 alipofika bungeni alisema kwamba ilikuwa ni taarifa fake. It was a hoax investigation. What do you think is happening in the country, especially when it comes to matters that touches directly on women? Kwamba wanawake wanauliwa lakini taarifa zinazima tu.
I think listening to Murkomen, when the BBC expose was broadcasted, I saw Governor Susan Keheka, my sister, rise up very fast, address the matter, and even went further to create a task force in her county to investigate and tackle that issue once and for all. And I know Susan Keheka's facial expressions. And when she means business, I know. And that day she meant business. So when Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, our CS, comes on TV through Parliament to say it was a hoax, it only tells you that there's something they discovered that was so tarnishing that he was covering up. Because there is no way a governor in charge of the county that has an issue would behave the way she behaved, going to the extent of even creating the task force for that matter, and then a CS comes to Parliament and says it was a hoax. You know, this is a government that is in denial, that there are so many errors of omission and so many errors of commission under their watch, especially on matters of women's rights. They have failed immensely. In fact, I can tell you because I said I started women movement activities when I was 19. This is the lowest Kenya has sunk. This is the lowest we have been as women movement, with the women movement of Kenya. It was not like this when we had Mother Karua and Charity Ngiro and Senator Beth Mogo and Satsiri Balire. It has never been like this. Akina Joki Dongo stood up on that floor of the house and defended. They made bills and acts that protected the dignity of women of Kenya. So I think Senator Murkomen is inept. He is completely inept. He cannot continue to serve as a minister in charge of interior if he cannot even defend the right of the woman he has in his own house and the daughters he has given birth to as a father. And his own mother. If Senator Murkomen, our CS, cannot be able to protect the right of his own mother, his own daughter, his own wife, he should actually resign before he's impeached. And for me, if you ask me, if I had numbers, I would impeach Murkomen tomorrow.
Murkomen must go.
But unfortunately, this parliament is captured. This parliament cannot even agree to even sign against Senator Murkomen's impeachment as a CS cabinet secretary. They cannot agree. Shame. But I wish we had 10 or 50 of us who would agree to impeach this guy. This guy is an embarrassment not only to Kenya but to the world. Yeah. He should be fired with immediate effect. Yes.
Wish, I'm Sydney from TV47. I have a question for you and Senator Gloria.
Yeah.
What is your comment about the President's remarks on the committees that there is a lot of bribing? Then to Senator Gloria, what will be your next steps after the court ruling that you should go back to the UDA PPDT?
For me, I heard the President say yesterday that there is a lot of bribery allegations happening in Parliament, and I was surprised that he's talking about it 1 year after they've been able to use the same corridors, activities to impeach even Rigathi Gachagua. How was Rigathi Gachagua impeached? Haven't you heard from many members what was happening, what was traded between members of Parliament and the executive? You want to tell me that you've never heard that during impeachment here, Rigathi Gachagua, there were some MPs who actually confessed that they were enticed with money so that they can sign the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua? You want to tell me this is the first time that you have heard this? Many many members of parliament, many senators have even been on radio, on TV, saying they were lured into money so that they can sign. So, President Ruto coming on TV in front of governors to say that parliament is corrupt, I think this guy has just realized that he has lost it. Yeah. So he's trying to redeem his image by now throwing all the mess he has done in the last 2.5 years to parliament. In fact, soon and very soon, you will hear him say, hata hizo finance bill, si mimi nilipitisha, ni wajumbe walipitisha. He's trying to cleanse himself, to redeem himself, to redeem his image as he prepares for 2027. Lakini tunamwambia bila kumficha. Watufukuze wakatae kutufukuza. Sisi tumeamua, kama wamama wa Kenya tumeamua. Na ile tumeamua tutamuonyesha 2027 kwa ballot. Saa hii, we are here to press for issues that pertain to women because campaigns have not started for the presidential elections. Thank you very much.
You know, there's something that Wamuchomba has said about the Cabinet Secretary for Interior. When he comes to say it's a hoax, I want to remind him, Waziri Murkomen, your predecessor, Kindiki, worked with me personally to deal with issues of femicide because he acknowledged, to deal with issues of sexual harassment because he acknowledged that they exist. So he's even contradicting his office because his office has a special program to deal with these matters. So if you ask me, as they have said, I personally don't believe, and this is one of the many other reasons with the noise I've been making, I don't believe that, let me say, with all due respect, Waziri Murkomen has the capacity to hold that office. In fact, he should have been left in sports. Now let me answer the question of what is my next step. I want you to take notes of all the politicians. I don't hold on to titles. That is why even my social media pages don't have honorable or what. I am Gloria Oroba. There can only be one me. By the time the court directed us from the High Court to go to the Political Parties Tribunal, it is because we were already in the Political Parties Tribunal. And in fact, we are there at the mercy of the judiciary because, as you have heard, Parliament is captured by the executive. Most of us are hanging on a very thin thread, and it is the judiciary that is holding us where we are. And we do hope, all of us, those who are being really sacrificed and punished for speaking the truth, that the judiciary will not fall into the trap of being captured by the executive. So there is no next step. I am alive. I am still fighting for women. I am still, you know, you are asking my question as if I died from the day they illegally removed me. I am still here. We are still working. The women are still with us. And as you can see, our spirit is not broken. They might have tried to break my spirit 10.5 million ways. But we are still here.
Yeah. Very good. I think I'm taking the last question. Yeah. Let me hear the lady first.
Mine is not a question. I want you to finish the questions and then you do for
Oh, okay. All right. Yes, my brother?
Yes, I'm Karega Budhe from Inoro TV.
Yes.
And right now you are not that deep in UDA or in the opposition because they are in government still. So are you forming another alliance with the likes of Kina Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino?
I knew that question will come. Because most of you, when you saw my presser, you were asking me whether I'll comment about our Kenya Moja initiative. Please note, Kenya Moja initiative is an initiative of members of parliament who serve under the 13th parliament, both Senate and National Assembly of members of parliament. We are calling ourselves Kenya Moja because we come from all corners of Kenya. We represent all regions of Kenya. We are not caucusing so that we can form a political party. We are caucusing so that we can provide interventions and solutions to problems that Kenyans are going through now. We are not forming a coalition so that we can decide on what to do in 2027 because 2027 is 2 years to come. We have realized that in as much as we talk about 2027, young people of Kenya are dropping from university. Women of Kenya are being butchered. Children of Kenya are hungry. And so we realized our mandate right now, that is why we were elected, is to go and fight for Kenyans for what is happening now. And that is why we came together. If you listen to us, like for example, when we went for our first meeting in Saboti constituency, we spoke issues. Issues of sanitary towers came up. issues of diapers came up, issues of Linda Mama came up because we had gone for a women activity meeting, and 2/3 gender came up. So we are not coming together so that we can form a political party. But if Kenyans believe us, if Kenyans believe that what we are saying is what they want, if Kenyans realize that we are the right people to resonate and to advocate for their rights, and decide to make us what they would want to make us in 2027, so be it. And we are going to stick together as Kenya Moja. We are going to continue pressing this government together. I'm sure you have seen me press Matters Coffee. I was here with all national cooperative leadership of coffee in Kenya. And all I was doing the whole day was to press for Matters Coffee. And that is what we are doing. We are pressing for Kenyans' issues as Kenya Moja, advocating for the Kenyans' needs. And if that will mutate to a political party, or will mutate to a coalition, or will mutate to a force that we can reckon with and go with for 2027 election, I will be very happy if that happens. But for now, we are accomplished. Thank you. Asanteni sana, members of the press, for coming. I believe we have not taken much of your time, and the women movement is not dead in Kenya. We are going to continue pressing on for women's rights and children's rights. Asanteni sana.
Hello, asante.
Inject mbaya sana. Sasa uko poa? Hata turekodi sasa tafadhali. Unaweza patikana bite.
Ramogi mko?
Zile ya Mezoom.
Kuna watu wa Ramogi hapa, hata wakisi wako. Mudenya wa mudhe twegoko. Gwetanite mucemanio wa atumia a Kenya yothe. Winatumia kuma kona ciothe ciothe ya Kenya. Winatumia atũkana haha, atumia Marsabit, atumia Coast, atumia Busia, Migori, Nairobi, Mathare, ndiramona gũkũ. Andũ a Kiambu me gũkũ, andũ a Gĩcũgũ, ũyũ nĩ wa Gĩcũgũ, me gũkũ, na Kĩrĩnyaga, na Juja. Na tũgwĩtanĩte tũtatumia nĩgetha twarie ũhoro ũrĩa ũratũmire nyingatwo mbunge thikũ 20 nĩ ũndũ wa kũria kĩũria kĩgiĩ njũragano ya atumia ĩrĩa yonekanire mwaka wa 2024, tũkĩonio TV-inĩ na tũkĩona social media mĩĩrĩ ya atumia 42 ĩkĩrutwo kĩara kĩa mahuti kũrĩa Nairobi kũndũ gwĩtagwo Kware Embakasi South, Mũkuru gwĩtagwo Mũkuru. Na nĩ tũrorĩtie kĩũria kĩu kũrĩ Minister Murkomen, ngamũria tondũ atumia nĩ marutirwo Kware, mĩĩrĩ ĩyo yarĩ yao, na nĩ mamenyekanire atĩ nĩo ene andũ acio moragirwo, na tondũ thirikari nĩ ĩroiga nĩ gũkwenja kũrĩhanwo rĩ, ĩretwo compensation. Kĩũria atĩrĩrĩ, atumia acio moragirwo rĩ, famĩlĩ ciao nĩ ciamenyekanire nĩgetha nao makĩrĩhwo. Na ngĩũria atĩrĩrĩ, tondũ ũrĩa wanyitĩtwo wetagwo Collins atuĩkire nĩ anyitwo nĩ borithi agĩcoka akĩũrĩra cero rĩ, kuma last year mweri wa 8 rĩ, mweri wa mwaka wa 2024 nĩ arĩa anyitwo. Ciũria icio nĩcio ndoragia Murkomen, no niĩ nĩ ndamakire mũno tondũ rĩrĩa Murkomen okire mbunge, wa mbere ndoete guoko maita mana nyende kũmũria ciũria ciarĩ hau kabere ciĩgiĩ abductions, na speaker nĩ aregete kũhe kabitha ndoya guoko akarega kũhe tondũ nĩoĩ nĩ ndĩmũthumbũraga mũno tondũ nĩ njũragia ciũria. Rĩrĩa ndakinyĩrĩirwo ndoria kĩũria kĩu na kĩũria gĩakwa kĩarĩ kĩa mũico harĩ order paper, Murkomen acokirie kĩũria kĩu gĩakwa na njĩra ya matharaũ, na njĩra ya kũnyonia atĩ ona ndekwendaga gũcokia kĩũria kĩu, ona ndekĩte research ya kũigana tondũ oigire atĩrĩrĩ, harĩ mĩĩrĩ 42 rĩ, no 5 mamenyekanire nĩa. Yani andũ acio angĩ othe morĩre, muoyo wa mũndũ ũrĩre nĩ ũndũ wa thirikari ĩtarenda kũruta wĩra wayo. Ngĩrakara mũno tondũ ndeciragia gũka gũtwĩra atĩrĩrĩ, twĩkĩte ona nona nĩgetha mũndũ ũyũ worire tũmũnyite, tũtũmanĩte kũna na kũna kana twĩkĩte atĩ ta thirikari. Wa kerĩ rĩ, ona matirĩ maheana press ateno makoiga atĩrĩrĩ, mũndũ wothe wateire mũtumia wake kana mwarĩ wa nyina rĩ, twĩna mĩĩrĩ 39 kana 38 tũtarĩ tũramenya nĩ ya tondũ atũrie no 5 mahotire kũringithania mĩĩrĩ mwĩrĩ. Rĩu handũ ha gũka gũtwĩra ũguo rĩ, okire kwaria na ũtũrĩka gira speaker ne darega I refuse to sit in this house ne darega guikara nyumba no guthikiriria mundu urarihwo na pesa citu cia igoti ndungata ya Kenya guka gutuhenia na gutwira atitari nginyaniri speaker nake akionekana tanyitana na Murkomen na andu aria othe mari nyumba iyo makiria muno atumia nio manjugagiriria nyumeja kiumaja majiraga atiriri na ndungiconoka kigwaruo muno makiria muno atumia athure magituika ati no manyitanire na aria mara oppress atumia ngiaria ndeto cia mutumia kurenda kuria inyu muragia na hapi kwanyu kungiuraga nunguo no mwende Gathoni Wamuchomba amwariririe no mwende niki kiki gituma mundu muthure ni andu akorwo araikara nyumba iyo ya iciriro anjigiririe gitetera atumia makenerere riria Wetangula aranyingata mbu ndĩrenda kuuga atĩrĩrĩ maũndũ ma njũragano ya atumia nĩyongererekete mũno gũkũ bũrũri na niĩ ndigũkira ndĩ ta mũjumbe ona mũranyingatire thikũ 20 mwenda kuongerera ciũke 200 ongererai mwenda ona kũnyingata nginya kĩama kĩu mwenda kũnyingata nĩ ũndũ wa kwarĩrĩria atumia a Kenya rĩ thiĩ na mbere na niĩ no niĩ ũrĩa warĩ mũmemerekia Inoro na Kameme na kũrĩa kũngĩ ngĩarĩrĩria nginya ADPs arĩa mahũragwo 1998 niĩ nĩ niĩ ũrĩa wateithirie IDPs na atumia arĩa marĩtirwo hĩndĩ ya haro cia PEV ũrĩa Moro Gathoni ũyũ no ũyũ watigĩrĩire andũ ayo wĩyũmĩrĩrie kũrĩa Laikipia nĩ maheo mũgũnda nĩ thirikari na marĩhwo nĩ ũndũ wa haro cia kĩndũrĩrĩ mũraririkana Gathoni ũyũ ndacenjetie okorwo mũreciria no mũnjenjie nĩ ũndũ wa ũkorwo ndĩ wa kĩama kĩanyu sahau forget okorwo mũreciria no mũnjenjie atĩ tondũ ndĩ honorable member gũtuĩka honorable ti kuga rĩu mũhatĩrĩria atumia a Kenya njikare hau tondũ ndĩ honorable member mwĩkage ũrĩa mũkwenda na atumia a Kenya sahau forget mwenda kũnyingata mũnyingate rũciũ ndĩrĩ ndĩ kũingatwo na ndigũtiga kwaria maũndũ ma atumia na atumia acio 42 turenda kũmenya o mũtumia arĩ wa bamĩrĩ ĩrĩkũ oragirwo nũ oragirwo nĩkĩ na arĩa manyitanĩire tondũ ũngĩrora mĩĩrĩ ũguo yohetwo rĩ tondũ yohetwo ta tũmĩrigo twagũthiĩ gĩkomba rĩ mũraririkana wĩra ũcio ndwarutirwo nĩ mũndũ ũmwe turenda kũmenya ũcio ũratuĩka arĩ ũmwe rĩ marutaga wĩra naũ nigetha mĩĩrĩ ĩyo yothe ikio dumping site na reke ndĩmwĩre tũtuĩke atĩ wĩra witũ maya Ngai tũrarora andũ atumia 42 makuĩte na tũtiraria atumia a Kenya na inyuĩ nĩ mũragũithia bũrũri ũyũ tondũ rĩrĩ mũrarega kwaria nĩ ũndũ wa kĩ I feel very pained because I know that is somebody's wife, somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's auntie na tũtingĩkira tweterere atumia moragagwo na wĩra witũ nĩ gũkira na okorwo ũguo nĩguo ũgũtũma ndage gũgathurwo rĩngĩ Gĩthũngũri kana ndage gũthurwo Kiambu kana kũrĩa kũngĩ nĩ kaba njage gũthurwo rĩngĩ no ndetere haki ya mũtumia tondũ Ngai anjigĩte hau ndute wĩra ũcio gũtirĩ wĩra ũngĩtũmĩte Ngai ahe favor na ahe gwĩtĩkĩrĩka ndute wĩra ũrĩa ndutaga angĩkorwo ndikũruta wĩra ũyũ Ngai amũteithie na mũrathime.
Nĩ tũronire president akĩaria ũhoro wĩgiĩ bunge gũkorwo nĩyo ĩratwarithia na mbere ũhoro wĩgiĩ mahaki hihi
president athikĩrĩirie andũ a Kenya akamenya mathĩna-inĩ maingĩ mũno na mathĩna macio enamo ndagĩka ĩno areheirwo nĩ bunge o ĩyo oyaga members akamekĩra ndege yake private magathiĩ thabarĩ koguo president akiuga bunge nĩ corrupt mũcara na mũkũndũ